We want to compete. We want it to be great, and everything that we do, like that, all this stuff, put the best foot forward, whatever you do. So if I'm doing something, I'm gonna try to be great at it.
Foreplay, presented by Barstool Sports and by our very, very good friends at Chevy. Go to Chevy.com, check out their EVs. They're the best. Silverado, phenomenal vehicle. Okay, Father's Day. We got Father's Day gear on. The boys are sporting it right now. We look clean, fresh. If you're a father or if you like fathers or if you just like our gear, store.barstoolsports.com. We got a bunch of new items out there. Peter Millar. I'm rocking a nice Peter Millar hoodie, maybe the cleanest hoodie I've ever seen. Peter Millar and Roback. That's kind of what we're throwing at you right now. So get something for dad, get something for your grandfather, for a brother who's a dad, or just a person, really any person. You can buy the gear. It just happens to be Father's Day's coming up. You order it, you're going to have it in time for Father's Day. You could be a great son or a great person that has a relationship to a father and provide them with a nice Father's Day gift from store.barstoolsports.com.
One of my buddies was wearing this Roback hoodie that I'm wearing right here. This, I guess it's a spirit. What is this? Like a mint? I guess it's like a mint.
Like a mint.
I'm not sure what
it looks
the
white
official.
to me.
Really? Wow.
No, you're looking at me, Dan.
No, I'm looking at both of you, and they both look white.
It's like a mint. It's like a blue mint.
Whoa.
But
I don't understand how sometimes you can be like, nah, you guys are overdoing how colorblind I am, and then say something like that. You think me
I'm
and
as
Frankie
blue
are
as
the
anything's
same
ever
color
been.
right now?
It's a light blue.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
just see white. I just see
Fiji,
white for
like,
both.
underwater bungalow blue,
It's
like
like
Dave says his eyes
this
are.
isn't going to be the most appealing description, but it's like a mouthwash blue.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a mint blue, but
Mint.
at the end of the day, what I was going to say was my buddy has this and said, "Do you know if Roback ever told you guys if there was a limit on how many days in a row you can wear the same hoodie? Because he's never ever in his life felt a hoodie that was as comfortable as this Roback. What do we call this hoodie again? Like, what's like the it's not like the crossover. That's the Unreal one. Whatever the name is, you got to go on the website and look for the blue, the aqua mint blue, and you're not going to believe what that thing feels like. You can go to sleep in it. It's the most comfortable hoodie of all time.
Really,
They're very comfortable. There's really no doubt about it. They're insanely comfortable. They're soft. If you haven't tried it, just do us a favor. Buy one, and then you'll end up getting more because they're that good. We got different colors. That one, mint blue, mint green. It's kind of in between. It's not white. This one's white. But there's a lot of good stuff on there. So store.barstoolsports.com. And then we also have fucking Megatron on the show. He's a big golfer now.
Huge.
Everyone's a big golfer these days. I wasn't there for the interview. What was it like? Was he, is he new to the game? Like, what's the?
It's relatively
he picked
new
up
to the
during his
game.
playing days, and now that he is retired, he plays a lot more. He lives in Detroit or Michigan. I'm not sure exactly where. So he only gets a few months of the year to play. And the advice that we gave him when he was on the show, which people will hear, is that he's just got to move south so he can play way more golf. He's really, if he wants to get better and play more, he's living in the wrong state. I'm a Midwest guy. I know if you live up there, you get like 4 or 5 good months of golf. So, but it's Megatron, dude. It was crazy. He's a legend.
Calvin, and this is not the actual Megatron because I know Transformers is coming out in the movie theaters right now. So this is kind of confusing for people. They're looking on their TV screens. They're seeing all these Megatron commercials. And then we say we have Megatron on the show. We do not have that Megatron on. We have Calvin Johnson.
For our booking team that would be, though. If we
had an actual Transformer on the show.
We will fly to the ends of the galaxy. Fucking love
I've
Megatron.
I've never seen a Transformers movie.
What?
Nah.
So it's the only like dumb action, like guys getting shot and like crazy stupid noises. Like I don't like all those like action movies.
You're not a John Wick guy, which is
I'm not a John Wick guy. I just can't get into it. I need a storyline. I am a Fast and Furious guy. I do love those. So I guess that's also where I get my fix. But I love like the original Transformers with Shia LaBeouf is just a fantastic movie, man.
Yeah, Megan Fox.
It's easy watching. Megan Fox
bending over the hood of that car. Come on,
wow!
That's like
I feel like that was like the OG, like
first boner
teenager movie. Yeah, exactly.
I don't have.
I was getting boners like crazy
sweating,
before that.
wearing that like crop top thing.
It's not that my taste is above Transformers because I love Fast and Furious. I love John Wick. I love The Equalizer. I love all of these.
Oh, you love Transformers?
Yeah, I just got to watch them.
Autobots.
You won't believe Megan Fox in this thing, Trent Ryan.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, we don't have that one on. We have Calvin Johnson. When you hear that name, Calvin Johnson, wide receiver, all-time great. He only played a certain amount of seasons. Was it like 9 seasons in the NFL?
He retired early.
That guy could have been maybe the greatest of all time. The way that they had to double team him, triple team him, every single defense was catered to stopping Megatron. And we get all that kind of information out of him, what it was like to go up against.
It was fun talking about that. It was fun talking about his football
like
days.
he's like
he was as dominant.
When you're talking to Calvin Johnson, you're thinking back to like fantasy football. He's the number one guy off the board. He's the guy in the NFL for a long time. It was like him, Larry Fitz. I mean, like it was him going against Darrelle Revis. It was that was the NFL at that point. Obviously, you had the Tom Brady's and the Peyton Mannings, but Calvin Johnson was the guy that they were throwing to, like the number one name that I used to love. So talking to him was pretty surreal, actually. We've told people in the past week that we had Megatron on, and they've been like beside themselves. They're like, Calvin Johnson's on your show? It's like the craziest name I've ever heard.
Yeah, he's an
big
icon.
Guest.
He's an absolute icon. Now he's into golf. So yeah, Calvin Johnson's coming up at the end of the show, second half of the show. You know, we've been a part of the Chevy EV family. Hopefully you've heard the big news. That big news is that the first ever all-electric Silverado is officially Barstool's most valuable truck. We got the chance to see it, to drive it. We're in a very cool commercial in like a hangar in Arizona with the other crew. We saw an orange one, a blue one, a white one. I'm trying to remember what other color there was of one, because we had 4 of them there. Might have been a black one in there. They're unbelievable. The all-electric Chevy Silverado is unbelievable. It's available 400-mile range. GM estimated on a full charge, over 10 feet of length in the bed with the multi-flex tailgate combined with the multi-flex midgate. They got a large 17-inch diagonal display screen, also known on this show as an infotainment system. Thing's just a phenomenal machine. A phenomenal machine.
It's a great machine. Lucky enough to see one up close in person, and you just can't believe the technology. We talk about chimps in the show and how we're 98% the same identity as them, and like how is that extra 2% able to come up with all of this that is the world and civilization and humanity and all of that stuff. And the fact that people have been able to figure out how to make a Silverado, which is like a man's car. Grizzly Adams would drive it from the water post down to, you know what I mean? It's like that whole entire thing. Now it's like a scientist should be driving this thing, because the technology inside, the screens, the infotainment, the lights, it's as quiet as anything. I am way more loud than a Silverado EV when I'm walking than the car is. You would hear me before you heard that.
Absolutely.
It could tow up to 10,000 pounds of max towing, 0 to 60 in under 4.5 seconds with Wowmo. They got a bunch of other great models at Chevy that are in the EV family now. So head on over to Chevy.com to learn more. Once again, pull up your browser, pull up your little engine there, your little URL center, and type in Chevy.com to learn more right now. And then just a little recap. Our last 2 shows, we had the block party on, Michael Block, who was fantastic for about a half an hour. Went through everything in detail, and he's just as good as it gets. So that's the most recent bonus show. And then before that, we did about an hour and a half recap. We went through all of our feelings on Brooks Koepka, on Live, Ryder Cup, what it's going to mean, PGA versus Live, and everything that's going on. So last 2 shows, if you haven't listened, make sure you listen to those. Speaking of the block party, I saw a little Dan versus Kirk, one of my favorite rivalries on Twitter.
I mean, I don't even know if it's a rivalry. I don't respond. I don't really like. I'm not interested in getting into a back and forth with him. So he can he can take his shots all he wants.
A quick Dan tweeted, seems like the general narrative from the cool kids is that all the Michael Block stuff is too much / actually starting to make fun of the story. Imagine being that cynical in life. Some things we can all just enjoy. Kirk Minahan quote tweeted that and wrote, "Fuck off."
Yeah, fuck off. That was so. Kirk obviously likes to poke fun at me. It's fine. I can handle it. I'm definitely not gonna respond because I feel like that's gonna make everything better. But it is what it is.
I mean, it's funny. I know we're supposed to be like a team and the camaraderie, and we all have good vibes. But I think I'm Team Kirk on this one because Kirk just makes me laugh. And it's not anti-Dan, but like anytime Kirk kind of does that to you, I just laugh at it.
It's definitely
for like 4 years in hockey.
I'm not like mad. Like it's definitely funny that he does it. I just know that me responding will make everything 20 times worse. So like, I thought it was funny too. I got a kick out of it, and he's going to do it again next week. It doesn't bother me.
I dealt with this with Ryan Whitney. Every time he tweeted at me, I couldn't even respond because any response I would have, he would respond to that. And he had so many like minion followers that every time he did it, he'd get 10,000 likes on a chirp to me, and I'd get like 13.
there's like a Big Dick Dan Rappaport like spoof Twitter account that tweets like it's actually really funny. It's like days until I'm inside the ropes at Augusta - 25.
Dude, I'll be honest. I somewhat disagree with your strategy though, because I do think if you went on Kirk's show, it would. I mean, you guys would go back and forth about whatever, but that's been the case forever. Like if you go on there and you guys hash it out a little bit, I think it comes around a little faster for you. But if you don't want to respond, that's up
I
to
learned
you,
that too. I learned that too. Kirk just wants you to play along. That's all he really cares about is you play along. But I do. They have one of the spoof callers too is Big Dick Dan Rappaport calls in, and just the shit. It's very funny. But we just recorded we just did the live show. Definitely not recorded live golf gambling show for Colonial this week. And on that show, he did make some points about like Golf Digest tweeting out who's going to play Michael Block in the movie, and that type of stuff is clearly sending Kirk over the edge of like he now hates Michael Block and hates all the people that love Michael Block, which I get to a degree of like people just overdo it. They can't let it be glorious. It was glorious for a few days. I was even texting with him after like day 2 a little bit. He's like, I'm so fucking over Michael Block. And I was like, I get it. And then he kept delivering. So I kept being into the hype. But eventually, like you said, like, it's just you can't do it forever. It's the guy, what else was Kirk was like, I see people saying he should be in the fucking Masters. He's like, the guy finished 15th at the PGA Championship and he gets into the Masters. What the fuck are we talking about?
I think part of his point was something that Frankie had said on our original recap show where he was saying people are acting like Michael Block isn't a great golfer, but the things that are coming out are he plays with these pros. Sometimes he beat these pros. I know Bo Hostler was tweeting about it or putting up Insta stories. Like there is, for people who don't follow golf all that closely, I think there's this perception that he is this guy that they pulled off the street and oh my gosh, he finished 15th at the PGA Championship when that is not the case.
This was like his 4th PGA Championship, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was his 5th and he qualified for a couple majors. I didn't see the stuff about Golf Digest that is a little bit silly about the Masters. I just think it's like it's Wednesday. I mean, he hit the hole in one on Sunday. It's not like it's 3 weeks later and we're still talking about Michael Block. Like if he shoots 77 tomorrow, we will stop talking about Michael Block. But for these 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I feel like Michael Block is fair game.
I would also say that you are a golf podcaster and a golf writer, and this is one of the bigger stories that has happened in the world of golf.
Yeah.
Like I understand if other media outlets that cover just general sports are still like they still hammer the Michael Block thing. They're like, who's going to play him in the movie? I know that was Golf Digest, but if everybody else is talking about it, maybe that can get on people's nerves because it doesn't go away. But in our particular lane, this is a pretty big story.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, if anybody's like, Dan's like, he's blowing he's sucking this whole story's dick. Like you guys, you would make fun of that. I'm like, yeah, that's why we have Dan. Dan's supposed to be a little different. Do his thing. He's the golf writer. He's covering it. It's a massive story in the world of golf. So you do your thing. Kirk does his. He tells you to fuck off. It makes me laugh.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's fucking
great. I got a really good chuckle out of that.
It's definitely funny. Right. It's objectively funny.
No, I'm very into it. I think it's absolutely. I laughed out loud when I saw his tweet that just said "fuck off" because I didn't see yours at first, so I saw "fuck off," then read yours, and then said "fuck off" again in my head, and I laughed very hard. That was really good.
Just as a person who has followed sports for my whole life, and I'm sure you guys saw this too. You saw that this was coming. That there was just so much coverage, and there's the people who are big Brooks guys who are like, "You guys aren't talking about Brooks enough. You guys are talking about Michael Block, like, and you guys are ignoring Brooks." And I understand that side of it too. But I knew at some point somebody was going to turn on the Michael Block stuff, and it was going to happen.
I also think it's funny that there's all these people online who just think that they are like the arbiters of how the media should cover a story and acting like it's not a business that it milks stories. Like we all know what this is. Right. You know what I mean? This is the days of Walter Cronkite, and like we're going to do 1 minute on this and we're going to do 7 minutes on like, the war in whatever country. Like we're in the business of likes and engagement, and that's how this works.
Oh yeah, that Golf Digest, who's going to play him in a movie? They don't really care.
It probably banged. It probably got a ton of comments.
100%. That's just what it is.
And half of them might have been, there's no fucking way they're going to make a movie about this. And then that Golf Digest person that posted that's already on to the next post. They're like, whatever, dude. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. None of it matters. So
sign-ups available for the tournament.
That's right. All 8 stops, sign-ups are available. Let me double check here.
I shouldn't have done that.
Golf Digest open.
I shouldn't have done that. Dan,
one of my old friends. One of my old friends from. Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just gonna say one of my old friends from Golf Digest tried to call me to like talk about like this, and I was like, I'm not answering that phone call. Like I got nothing to do with this. I got no answers for you.
All
like
right.
what do you want me to say?
Let's move to your new job. We saw you putting up some content, some pictures with
You've
Fat Perez.
dreamed
How
about
did that? I don't give anything away, but how did
fellow
the
avid golfers alongside one of your favorite golf partners? Now is your chance, because there wasn't a chance for the last 5 years. Definitely not.
how did it go? Just like overall with that crew.
Crew is great. Those guys are exactly what you expect them to be like. Robbie Berger is such a talent. It's kind of insane. And I'm not saying that Fat Perez is not, but that guy Robbie Berger, like if he's not on SNL or movies or like I think he's that level of fun. You just you cannot teach that delivery. You can't teach it. It's the voice and the delivery is just it's not replicable. So it was a lot of fun. Golf course was beautiful. Keswick Hall down in like outside Charlottesville, Virginia. We did a little stuff for their channel. We did a little stuff for our channel. I think people are going to like it. Don't know who's going to be first to market. That'll be interesting to see.
Awesome.
Is it a race? Is it an arms race?
That's a question for Kyle Timms and for Brendan Jones and for Alex Bush, but I don't know.
Kyle Timms is producing this podcast. Kyle Timms, you can say hi from the cloud if you'd like.
Oh, there I am. I unmuted myself. Hi, everybody.
There we go.
Hey, Kyle.
Let's fucking go, Kyle. Kyle's a big part of our editing and production team, and we've kind of got this system now that Brendan Jones has implemented where he hires people and then just sticks them in a fucking cave for like a year while they just edit stuff and learn the system. And then their big break is like they get to go outside for a couple hours and film something. And Kyle Tim's big break, I think the first one was at the Billy Horschel video. Is that kind of the first main one that you were there filming?
Yeah, that was the actual first one. Yeah, that was
the first time we saw his like just pale ass skin because he'd been inside for a year straight just editing stuff, and now he's literally working his way up out there.
And then he was on the Myrtle Beach shoot with the dads too. So he was out there for that.
Okay, see, let's fucking go.
We had Jared. We had Jared, and another guy who I hadn't met before was on this shoot. I think that was his big break, and his eyes watered so bad. His allergies were so bad. He looked so stoned the entire week, and it's probably because he has allergies, but it might also be because he hasn't been outside in 4.5
Jared's
weeks.
a real cool guy. He wears like pointer finger rings and like cool jewelry.
He's like a Brooklyn guy.
He's
kind of
real
vibes.
cool.
Okay.
He's just a cool cat, like waiting on the platform for the train to come in. You know what I mean? Like one of those cool cats. And I really like him.
Pointer finger rings, huh?
I think it was a pointer finger. He's a really cool guy, and he came out to the we've got a lot of things going on right now. Obviously, Dan did those videos with the Bob the Sports guys. We have a bunch of these Barstool Golfs videos being filmed and start to be edited. We did Jersey Jerry, and Jared was there for that. And he actually at one point almost dropped the camera, and that part will not be on film because he said he was laughing so hard he couldn't hold the camera like facing it at Jerry. Thankfully, we had it on GoPro, but like he's really starting to get a feel for just like how much fun those shoots can be. But like it was an introduction to like you gotta just power through the laughing. You know what I mean? He's like, dude, like I like literally dropped the camera. He was crying.
He was in heaven yesterday because he was in heavy yesterday because he's an old school Bob fan, and he was saying that he used to be like in the Patreons, like when is that how you pronounce it? When they used to do the live shows, and Bob was like, and I'm like, don't get any ideas, Bob. He's on our team. He's on our fucking team.
Just checked all venues. The Golf Digest Open have open spots still. So just if you're looking to sign up,
it's a joke of an event. It's a joke of an event.
I'll tell you what's not a joke. I'll tell you what's not a joke of an event is the Barstool Classic, and there was the first one in Iowa.
How was that?
Dude, it was awesome. It went so well. It was really a lot of fun. A couple people I knew in the field that I didn't know were signed up. There was a guy, Luke Recker, who was a star for Iowa basketball, who was there, and I was like starstruck when he came up to the putting contest. I was like, "Are you Luke Recker?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "What's up, man? What have you been up to?" He's like, "I live in Iowa City now, whatever." So it was great to meet him. Took a picture with him. A guy, Josh, who I went to high school with, haven't seen him in 15 years, was in the field. It was great to see him. It was just awesome, man. Finkbein was great. The staff there was great. Everybody had a really good time. The greens were tough. The pins were tough. People were saying that, but we're fine with that. Everybody's playing the same golf course.
It's a fucking golf tournament.
Yeah.
Fine.
No, I would love to. And, this is a conversation for us. I would love to go back there again. It was so much fun. People were like, we want to come back
there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it was a blast. Thanks to everybody who came out.
We should do one in everybody's, everybody should have a home spot. I think we pretty much do at this point, but it's kind of a no-brainer. It is fun when you see a bunch of people you didn't know. It was very wholesome seeing you up there doing the announcements in Iowa, Trent. It's lovely to see.
It was great. It couldn't have gone better.
Working out is difficult. Coming up with a routine is difficult. If you're on the road like us all the time, it can be extremely difficult. Getting a gym membership going there, it can be intimidating. You're not sure what to wear. Do you want to get geared up? Are there showers? It'd be gross. Do you have time for it? Finding a workout program that sticks, incredibly difficult. You probably know Peloton. You probably know that they're the people who make bikes. You probably need to know. You definitely need to know. They also make the Peloton Tread, the Peloton Rower, and the Peloton app, which you can now use access for free. It's got classes like yoga, strength training, cardio boxing that can be done whenever, wherever. Perfect to bring with you during the summer months when you're out and about. Maybe you're going for a trip. Who knows where you're going to be? Maybe you're doing long weekends. We love Peloton. We got our very own Frank Borelli III has been a Peloton guy. He's trying to get in shape for the wedding. You don't just have to use them for the bike now. They got other options as well.
You do these 20-minute like upper body, upper shoulder, chest, back workouts. They are such a game changer, such a saver, because you don't know what the hell you're doing if you're working out on your own. You're not going to a gym. You have your own little DIY gym at your house. You got a Peloton there. You turn on all of these workouts on the screen. They're kicking the shit out of you. They're making you. They're motivating you. You're moving. You're juking. You're jiving. I'm doing push-ups. I'm doing fucking things with free weights now. We're just trying to get the tits away. We're trying to get the glutes activated, as Tiger Woods likes to say. And we're trying to just tighten things up. I'm not trying to change the world. I'm trying to tighten things up, get a little bit healthier. And I think that's working. You got to move. Peloton works, playing pickleball works, but you always need to just move. And the Peloton is there to just get that heart pumping, man. The sweat. Nothing better than a good sweat. And it's right there in the next room. I can just sweat in there. You know what I mean?
If it's your sweat room. It sounds like it's got to be beyond your price point, remember the app is free. Not to mention it's the best value in fitness because people actually stick with the workouts once they try them. That's what Peloton's known for. Ready to give it a try? Get started and download the free Peloton app today. Peloton app available through free tier or paid subscription. Paid memberships start at just $12.99 a month. So go download the free Peloton app today. I know we mentioned Brooks earlier. I got to say, on the Brooks front, my Brooks Koepka stock, it shouldn't be surprising, is just incredibly high right now. Saw him shit-faced at the Panthers game. Last night he's at the Heat game. He's just going everywhere with the Wanamaker, that big-ass trophy.
Was he shit-faced? He didn't blink for like 2.5 minutes.
It might be a different stimulant.
Consensus was that he wasn't just perfectly sober, I guess, and you could draw whatever conclusions you want, but from even the night before when he was on it was a wild clip. I'm going to
watch these guys fucking play some hockey right now.
But I enjoy when a guy like Brooks is just out there and up front with celebrating his victory. We see it a lot. Like Morikawa is a guy that comes to mind of like, he's pretty muted and quiet and he's not like public with if he's celebrating, if he does celebrate, if he does go out. The fact that Brooks Koepka right after he won was like, I'm going to get shit-faced. And he's talking about, pardon my take, I'm chugging out of the trophy. And then you literally see him the next 2 days, instead of just sitting at home with his wife or hey, whatever, he's out at the Panthers game in an interesting state of mind. He's at the Heat game. He's just celebrating. I like that people just fucking celebrate when they win a major like that. So kudos to Brooks Koepka.
I saw a really interesting hypothetical. This guy, Matt Wiley, tweeted, if Brooks Koepka went back to the PGA Tour, he would be the biggest star in golf by like 1,000,000 miles.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a great year. He wouldn't have been the biggest, but he's had a fantastic year. He probably would have won two
I'm not
pretty
saying that
big elevated events the way he's been playing. He's obviously been doing well on Live. He would have had a massive, massive year.
I feel like if he went back, people like, because there's still probably some people who don't like him for that move. It feels like everyone else likes him who's not about that. If he decides, because there were those rumblings before that, maybe he wasn't feeling great about it. He said at the Masters that if he was playing better, it would have been a harder decision. I just think I'm not saying that he should or he shouldn't, but I think if he went back, if that was any sort of, and he probably won't now because he's got 5 majors, but like his stock, it's more of a comment on how high his stock is right now.
I don't know, man. Like it's not like when he was winning those 4 majors in 2 years that he was a bigger star on tour than Rory or Spieth. Like, I don't think he was.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like something about this. I think the comeback. I think the Netflix. I think, him admitting that the live stuff was sort of because he was. I just feel like everyone loves a comeback story, and I feel like his stock has probably never been higher, despite doing something that was so polarizing just a year ago.
I do think the story of him leaving live and coming back to the PGA Tour would be obviously a huge story. And there might be people who are like, all right, I'm backing on this guy because he clearly just admitted that he didn't make the decisions for the right reasons to steal something from The Bachelor, but now he's back. He's still old Brooks. Let's get behind this guy. I don't know. I don't know if he'd be the biggest star.
Talking about a guy that got booed on the first tee like last week.
But those people, I think, would flip maybe if in the context of this, those people were booing because he's a live guy. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but those people would be like, oh, wow, he came back to the PGA Tour. Those boos would cease.
I didn't think he'd ever have a path back to the PGA Tour, but after seeing Rory like kiss his neck and congratulate him, that was like the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. Did you guys see Rory legitimately like?
Yeah, he said something really gentle in his ear.
Oh my
really
god,
soft,
and then gave him like that guy like shrug on his shoulder, that squeeze right on top of the shoulder, the double squeeze. It's like, buddy, you'll be hearing from me tonight. Like in a text
I actually
or
thought the
FaceTime.
most interesting part of that, and the whole thing was interesting, but it was when Brooks was walking away and he was like, "I'll give you a shout later." Like, what are they talking about on the phone later? Like, what are they saying in that phone call that they can't talk about in front of the cameras? That all is very interesting. It is funny. I do want to say that winning really does cure everything, because we shit all over Brooks Koepka when he was in Nashville for his bachelor party, going crazy and partying and being out in public. And we were like, this is kind of weird. Like, what's this guy doing? You add a trophy to that, and it's like, this is the coolest shit ever.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
Big time.
I just want to be open and honest about that.
Tiger Woods taught us that lesson many times in his career.
If you just win, if you win tournaments that we consider a big deal, and then you celebrate and you drink out of the trophy that you won, we're fine with it. But if you do all those things and we haven't seen you in a while, we think you have a problem. We think there's something wrong with you. But if you have a trophy, everything's fine.
I remember with Bryson, it was like that. Before the U.S. Open, it was like everyone was just dunking on him. And then overnight, it was like, you have to respect him. You have to respect his grind and what he's done and how much of a trailblazer he is.
Hold a trophy and you can do just about anything.
He like led the field in strokes gained off the tee, even though he's dialing it back now at the PGA Championship. So, shout out to Bryson, by the way. Just, I don't know if we've talked enough about how he just switched directions. He just went from beefing up, hitting the ball 8 trillion miles and winning the U.S. Open and trying to drive the green on the 5th hole at Bay Hill and driving the first green at the Ryder Cup at Whistling Straits and going crazy, making an eagle, to now he has just gone the other way, slimmed down, and is like, yeah, it's all about finding fairways out here. It's hilarious.
It also kind of makes you think that all the protein shakes are kind of a waste. Like, you can find speed without becoming.
He still has a ton of speed. Like, he was saying that it's fast twitch muscles, and he's saying, because like remember Jamie Sedlowski, he was kind of like the OG long drive guy. He was not like that big. It's about like training your twitch muscles. Well,
look at a guy like Matty Fitz. He's not all that much bigger than he used to be, and he pipes the ball now. So part of me just thinks Bryson was like, I want to look huge and jacked, and I'll just act like I'm hitting the ball further when I can just hit the ball as far when I'm skinny.
It was jarring seeing his jawline this week. Like there, he was doing a couple interviews with Amanda Balionis where like from the side, and like he had a jawline that I hadn't seen in like at least 3 years.
He looks 10 years
handsome
younger.
Cat. He's a handsome cat. He's a pretty handsome guy. He too, like, he just looks healthier. He looks like every part of him looks better. He looks normal. He looks healthy. His skin tone is like hell. He just looks like a normal,
so
like
greasy
healthy,
before.
Like nobody looks at a bodybuilder and goes, "There's the picture of health." You don't. You look at. You're like, oh my gosh, like that's some sort of mutant that is trying to lift as much weight as they can, and then
unsustainable. Your joints are going to fall apart. It's a disaster.
Yeah. But
it's a disaster.
Good to see his jawline.
Shout out to Rose Zhang. So we got the NCAAs going on here, NCAA championships. She won. She was 4 shots back going to the final round. I actually watched the whole thing the other night. It's at Greyhawk. That's kind of my home course around here. I'm there all the time. I know the course really, really well. It's always cool when you know the course and you get to watch it on TV. She was tied for essentially the lead in wins for collegiate, Stanford, especially with Tiger Woods and Patrick Rogers, I believe. They had like 11 wins. It was like Tiger had 11 wins in like 20 something starts. Patrick Rogers, 11 wins in like 45 starts, something along those lines. She had 11 wins in 19 starts, and I believe now she has 12 wins. So the record in just 20 starts in college golf. She's a sophomore. Those wins also include 2 NCAA individual titles, the Augusta National Women's Amateur, and a few other very prestigious ones on top of like a handful of collegiate wins. So she came back from 4 shots, I believe, in the final round. I don't think she made a single bogey. She wasn't a scoreboard watcher either. She was just kind of slow, steady, made a handful of birdies while other people kind of fell down, made a couple mistakes, got it done, won back-to-back national championships. I believe she's the first ever woman to win back-to-back NCAA women's individual titles. So she's just an absolute badass. She's going to go out there and win on the LPGA Tour. So that's a name people I'm sure have heard here and there, but now you're really going to want to hear it because, you can, the writing's probably on the wall. We'll probably see her out there relatively soon in professional golf, see her on leaderboards. If she does do even another year of collegiate golf, she'll be up there very soon on major championship LPGA leaderboard. So she's an absolute badass. And then all the collegiate golf is on Golf Channel. It's on Wednesday night. It's on this next week. The men have a couple practice rounds, a couple individual rounds, and then you'll see them doing the individual finals and the match play at Greyhawk as well. So again, reminder to watch on Golf Channel.
With Rose Zhang, I think it'd be really big for women's golf in this country to have another massive superstar like on the level of Nelly Korda. Stars drive the game, and Danielle Kang is a big star, and Lexi Thompson's been a big star, and Nelly Korda has been a big star. So to add another American to that mix, I think would be really big for the growth of the women's game in this country.
Shout out Danielle Kang. We should get her back on the show soon. I miss Danielle Kang. We haven't had the People's Women's Golfer on in a while. We played her in a scramble match a couple of years ago. It was the last time we really hung out with her. She actually stayed at my Pinehurst house during the Women's Open last year at Pine Needles. Amazing person, by the way. We had this was a year ago, so we were very early in like renting it out and all that. And we had a group in there the weekend before, and she arrived on like Sunday night for the U.S. Women's Open at Pine Needles. And I guess the cleaning crew that we had. Would you drop your phone, Frank?
Yeah. Hope for no crack. I don't think it was a crack noise. You know if it was a crack noise.
The cleaning crew that we had come in, they had come in, seen that people hadn't left the house yet, so they left. They just decided to come back the next day. Well, Danielle Kang came in that night, arrived at the home, and literally there were like empty beer cans and shit all over the place. And me and my brother completely panicked, and we're like, I'm so sorry. We'll get you hotel rooms. Like, holy shit, it's a major championship week. She didn't respond for a couple hours. Then she texted us back, was like, guys, it's totally cool. Me and my mom just cleaned the house. Now we're going for a walk. Thank you so much for having us at the house. So she's just the best person. I love Danielle Kang.
Last time I saw Danielle Kang was at the Lake Nona LPGA event that we all played in the event, right. I guess. And I'd gotten like 4 hours of sleep the night before because I was so nervous about playing. I wasn't out partying or anything. I was literally in bed staring at the ceiling being like, oh my God, I'm going to screw this entire thing up. And I saw Danielle Kang on the putting green, and she just messed with me for 45 minutes. I was looking for comfort and someone to say, it's going to be fine. You know, whatever you shoot, it's not going to matter. And she was like, this is a big deal. She's like, she was like, you better play well. You better hit a good tee shot when you tee off. And I had to switch putting greens because she was making me so nervous. So we love Danielle Kang.
Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. It is the golf capital of the world. It was recently voted America's favorite buddies trip destination. They got over 70 golf courses there. They've got something for every price point. So if you're going to reach out to us and be like, fellas, here's the deal. I'm on this budget. I'm on a tight budget. I want to go to a place that's a great golf course, great buddies golf destination. We're just out of college. We don't have a ton of money. Here's the amount we're about to spend. Myrtle Beach is your answer. You can do it on a tight budget. You can splurge and go crazy. You can stay on the beach. You can stay in a golf course villa. You can go to all kinds of different restaurants. You can like rip apart shrimp as a giant communal crew. You can go to a nice steakhouse. You can go go-karting. You can do anything in Myrtle Beach. That's why it's the #1 buddies golf trip destination in this great country.
It's also on the ocean. And I know that's going to sound obvious for people who know that, but you know, you hear about California, you hear about Florida, you hear about all this oceanside stuff, and Myrtle Beach is on the ocean. When we were there with our fathers, We stayed on the ocean. You go outside and you see the ocean. It's fucking beautiful. And there's a ton of golf courses. There's a ton of restaurants there. If you get a group of buddies together and you go to Myrtle Beach, I guarantee that you will have fun. I guarantee it. It's the best.
There's just so many options for golf buddies trips now. Like golf has exploded and all these resorts have popped up. You go online, you look at some of these places and they're booked for 3-4 years. It feels like you can't get out. It's the travel's a nightmare. You're in the middle of America. You're in Iowa. You're at Finkbine. You're texting with your buddies that you haven't seen in 15 years. You're looking at the basketball player that used to play for Iowa Hawkeyes. And you're like, I want to go
my entire Iowa Classic experience.
And you're like, I want to
vaguely.
And you're like, I want to go on a buddies trip with these guys. Let's go somewhere really cool. And it's like a last minute decision. You're like, oh, should we go this fall? I'm telling you right now, Myrtle Beach is number one when it comes to that decision. It is affordable. It is getting there is super easy. They always have options for you. All of these golf courses are so accommodating. The stays are incredible. You're on the ocean. The restaurants are great. The bars are fantastic. There are so many things to do. The entertainment is through the roof. I'm not even kidding. I know we've done a lot of Myrtle Beach stuff this year, and it seems like we're just like a shell for these guys, where it's like we're just gonna tell you to go to Myrtle Beach a million times. I'm telling you right now, when people ask me where should I go, I always say now Myrtle Beach. It's the best option. It's the best option.
You want to visit Myrtle Beach, Playbook Golf Myrtle Beach, giving away a trip for you and 3 buddies. So listen up. We're giving away a trip for you, 3 buddies. You got to visit www.foreplaymyrtlebeach.com to enter to win a 3-day, 3-round golf trip to Myrtle Beach for you and 3 buddies. So again, that's foreplaymyrtlebeach.com. Enter, win, go to Myrtle Beach, have a great time, stay on the ocean, play a bunch of golf, playgolfmyrtlebeach.com. You can go check out everything they got to offer there. And then to enter, go to foreplaymyrtlebeach.com. Some of the most exciting photos that I've seen on Instagram story were Frankie's photos yesterday from Fisher's Island Club.
Oh yeah.
I want to hear about this experience. I got
hear about
this.
Fisher's Island is wow. What an experience from beginning to end, really. I don't know how it's considered New York. I guess it's it's in international waters. I mean, it's in between Connecticut and New York, but it's got the New York zip code. So I went with it was just a crazy day. I ended up going with Brock Nelson, Anders Lee, and Kyle Palmieri, 3 of just like the top players on the New York Islanders. Obviously for me, that's a huge deal. Lucky enough to become buddies with these guys. So to get that invite was insane. Thank you, Matt Martin, for not playing and dropping out at the last minute. That was a huge dropout in addition for me. Yeah, these guys. So we drive all the way kind of around New York and through Connecticut, and you go over into this. I don't even know how you say it. Like I don't know how you say the town, but there's a little town on the water, basically across from Fisher's Island on the Connecticut side. And you meet this guy, Wild Bill is who we had to ask for. So you pull up to this shack, and there's a guy outside, and Brock rolls on the window, and he's like, "Yeah, we're looking for the boat," and he's like, "Who are you looking for, Poppy?" And he goes, "No, Wild Bill." And he goes, "You got him." And just starts unloading the golf bags out of our car. And he throws them on this little white boat, just that fits 3 people on it. And he's like, "You all ready to go?" I said, "Yep." And he had some seats ready for us. Said he dried them all off, kept them in the sun. And he just fucking rips over to Fisher's Island. I'm talking a 9-minute boat ride, just ripping, contacts flying out of your eyes. You're getting soaked. And you're like, this is a crazy, we're going to golf right now.
What time in the morning is this? What time is it at this point?
I woke up at 4:45 a.m. This was probably at 8 o'clock in the morning. So 7:45, 8, and maybe even earlier, 7:30. And you're just how often are you playing golf where you just roll out of bed and you get in the shower, you get in your car, you go to the range, and it's very methodical. I'm on a boat holding on for my life. I'm we're going straight to the first tee right now. This is insane. So we're all, nerves were high. You see in a very Bayonne way, you start to see the golf course come up as he slows down, and you see it just all right there. The property of Fisher's Island is just, you can't believe they have a golf course there. It's surrounded by water. Every hole has water around it. What is it, 16 out of 18 holes have a water feature somehow, some way as mixed in. So you go there, they have carts waiting for you at the end of the dock. You just get in a cart by yourself. You rip it up to the clubhouse. And now you're just there. The clubhouse is immaculate. The people working there are so nice. I did say at one point it felt like you're definitely like on like a secluded island. It felt like these people like don't talk to people that often. I don't know, like it's just like every interaction was kind of like they're just like so happy to see people.
It sounds like Golf Shutter Island.
It is.
I looked up the population. The year-round population of Fisher's Island is 236.
Dude, it's crazy. So I'm like, is there a range? They're like, it's 2 miles down the road. But like, if you want to like make it happen, like I was like, stop. Like, it's fine. We're not. They were like trying to figure out how to get us there. We're like, we're fine. We don't need to hit any balls. We go and chip, we putt, and then you're just on the first tee, man. It's crazy. You're just there immediately. Balls are in the air 9 minutes after Wild Bill was ripping you across the sound, and you're just in one. So we had a nice match. First hole's immaculate. You know what you're about to get. The place is pristine. It has that like Long Island on the water look. Like I know like a very public golf course on Long Island is called Lido, which is the second iteration of the OG Lido Golf Club, which was like the most prestigious country club of all time. Now it's just like a public kind of dog track on the water, but it always had that same kind of vibe where it's like the type of grass that's there. It seems like it's the only type of grass that can exist on a water golf course in the Northeast. I'm not sure what type it is, but like the marsh looks the same. But this place is just different, man. You can tell why it's a top whatever it is in the world, not just
number
in the
9
world.
according to the people that run the Golf Digest Open. It's ranked number 9 in the rankings in the country.
That's fucking crazy.
Single
but you know
digits,
what?
my friend.
Dude, it's there, man. Every hole is memorable. And I hit a nice hybrido off one, just striped it right down the middle, got it to the front of the green, ended up making 5 because I 3-putt. But at the end of the day, I'm having a fine day. The only thing that I would say that I didn't like about my experience, every single hole was incredible. 1, 2 is incredible. 3 is insane.
9,
4,
dude. 9's like the best
5,
hole ever.
Bro, the
6,
punch bowl on 4 is
7,
like, what are we talking about? 5 is
8,
crazy. 6, I could go through
9.
every single one. I'm remembering
9
each
is
hole.
insane. 9 is like off a cliff.
And they're all
10,
Seth Rayner
dude, let's talk
templates.
about 10.
10's insane. We're
Bro,
talking 11's nuts. 12 is even crazier.
14.
Bro, wait until you get
Dude,
to
Tell me
14.
there's 18 of these things.
15
Tell me
might
there's
be the best
15
hole.
of these things out there.
15, 16,
We had
17, and 18.
We had two
18 holes at Fisher's
What a
Island.
finisher.
we had 2 mistakes at Fisher's Island. Number 1 was we didn't have a member or caddy there, so we're flying blind with 4
Oh,
guys.
you didn't know where to hit. Yeah.
Seth Rayner golf course on the water. You have no idea where you're going. I would say, and I don't know what the number is, but maybe 30 to 40% of the holes have a blind tee shot, like over a crazy mound. Beyond that mound, you don't know if the hole goes left or right. Like there were times, like 4, where like I think I've heard the story that it goes to the right. Like there's supposed to be a huge light flagpole behind it, but like we couldn't really see it. So we're like, I think this goes right. We're like ripping drives, not knowing where it's going. So a lot of that, which I think affected our scores, not to make any excuses, but like there were a couple moments where like all 4 of us lost drives because we hit it over a mound, and then you go over the mound and it's like it's water and marsh, and you're like, fuck. So now you're like dropping into the fairway hitting 4 because you're not going back to the tee, and like you're making a 6. So like there was making a 6 or 7 at best. So there was a lot of moments where that was happening. I think that took away from the experience on the playing side. If I could go back now that I know every single hole, I would fucking go crazy to play that golf course again, because you're so taken away by the views. It's Pebble Beach of the Northeast. It really looks like it. There's cliffs. Like there's legit the same types of like cliffs and rock formation that Pebble Beach has. It just doesn't have the seals that are like oinking next to you. And I was just taken back the entire day. I took a million photos. Every single guy in our group took a million photos. The second mistake we had and that we made was we didn't get the iconic sandwich that everyone talks about because we couldn't find the halfway house. We just
Never
didn't eat the whole time. We just couldn't find the halfway house. We were out there alone. We went up to one house that was a house. Like we thought that was the house, and it was a house that someone was living at. It was like this nice house.
It's just
It was a house. I was like walking up to the door. I'm like, this is not it, boys. I'm watching. I'm looking at someone reading the newspaper. It's not a halfway house. There's no hot dogs in here. They have this iconic sandwich that's a PB&J with bacon on it. And even in the pro shop, they sell T-shirts that's a PB&J with bacon logo on it. And it's supposed to be the most iconic sandwich of all time. We even went to the cart person and said, could you go to the clubhouse? Could you go to the halfway house and just grab us as many of them as you can? She said, no. She looked at us and was like, no. I was like,
said, you know what she said? She said no.
We looked at her. I was like, I was like, why? Why can't why? It was like 40-year-old virgin where you have those shoes. I was like, I literally held up money. I said, I have this money that I'm willing to give you a lot of to go get those PB&J sandwiches. Can you drive this cart? Act like you're just driving it to like another hole. Like just go take this golf cart and go to that halfway house, meander in there, purchase a bunch of these sandwiches, and then come back to us. And then we'll just give you even more money for doing that. And she looked at us, she goes, no.
That's not a lot of money on Fisher's Island. Fisher's Island money is different money.
So we didn't get the sandwich. We did have the rum punches, which are also like the famous like duo. You get the rum punch, you get the PB&J and bacon sandwich. You're supposed to have the best day of all time. We did not. We had a great match. I hit like a 10-foot or like 15-foot uphill kind of left to right putt to push the match all square. Me and Brock, the lefties, versus Kyle and Anders, the righties. I ended up beating Brock in my solo with that putt. So like everything came down to the 18th hole. We didn't play that great. A bunch of high 80s, but like everyone broke 80. We all felt pretty. Everyone broke 90. We all felt pretty good about it. We need another crack at that place because fuck, man, when you don't know where you're going at an all-time golf course like that, it kind of takes away from the playing experience. Seth Rayner's a motherfucker.
Let's do it this summer. I want to get back out there. I played. I know he is. A lot of blind tee shots is what he loves that shit. But I played. The only time I played Fishers, I played with Lynx Gems, our boy John Cavalier, who's a fantastic podcast
who has an
guest.
insane write up on this place. Every single hole, he's written it up. And Anders
I didn't even know that.
Anders kind of wrote down little notes in a notepad, and Anders would give us his spiel on every tee. Unfortunately, he never told us where the hole was going in any of these write ups. He would just write. The 10th hole, the green repels all balls front, left, and right of the pin. So then every time we'd hit into the green, we would just be like, repel, and the ball would repel off the green, and we all would end up coming short. Dude, I'm telling you, we screamed repel like 19 times. Like, the ball would be going out. I'm like, dude, that's on the stick. And then Anders from across the fairway would just go, repel, and the ball would repel off the green to 60 yards away. And you're like, what's happening out here?
I played with him and his father one time, like probably 4 or 5 years ago, and it was amazing, beautiful day, but the greens were punched. So it's not like that place isn't. Luckily it's not a course that is a Winged Foot or an Oakmont experience where the whole thing is kind of the greens are unreal complex. It's a tee to green kind of course with the views and with the wild, template holes and all that. So it didn't ruin the experience at all. We still had a great match as well, but same kind of way, Frankie, where I'd like to go and have a full, pure Fishers experience because that place, dude, I just looked on, again, Golf Digest, Dan's friends that do the Open, which is still available spots, all 8 stops. The number 9, it's ahead of Pebble Beach. It's literally ranked ahead of Pebble Beach in their rankings.
Bro, I'm telling you, it's special. It's a special layout. Like every single hole, you're like, this is, I said after 11, I looked at Brock, I said, every single one of those holes is just as memorable as playing Pebble for the first time. Like you're thinking back to 4 and you're like, that's just 6 at Pebble. Like you're just like, you're walking up this huge fucking hill and it's just, you just can't believe that this place exists.
Yeah, and I played it once, and I told you guys it was the foggiest day that I've ever played golf. And at a place like that, it just rips you of all the views. So it sounds like we all kind of need another crack at this place.
Yeah, we all need to play like one of the best places in the world. I agree. We all need to get a crack at
Pine Valley, the 4 of us, I think.
I agree.
I have that one photo of them. I think it was on 3 of Anders and Brock walking up to the green, and it was the infinity green.
That was
probably the best photo. That will probably end up on my back wall at some point. I think I'll print
that. Was an amazing picture.
Is it weird to print that of 2 other people?
No, because dude, you're gonna in 40 years you're gonna look back and be like, I played with these Islander greats. I played with these Islander greats at this incredible golf course. That picture's gonna get cooler and cooler with every passing year.
When did you think of that caption? Did you think of that caption before or after you woke up that day?
I thought of it as I was looking at the photos, and I said it to the guys we were on the boat back. And I was like, what a day, Fisher's Island. And I was like, Fisher's Islanders. And they started laughing. And then Brock's like, Fisher's Islanders, because they call it Anders, Durs. And it was all perfect. It all kind of worked.
It's a perfect caption.
It's nice. Dude, with that photo in the future, like Dan's saying, you can Titanic the movie yourself into that. Like you'll see it, and then you'll kind of like re-enter that you were the one that took that photo. You'll remember walking up that fairway.
Yeah. I do have a lot of photos of them all walking like 150 yards ahead of me on my phone. I was like, was I just really slow all day? I don't understand why I was in the position to take all these. Like that photo, they were 150 yards ahead of me. I don't know what I was doing on that green, but
I was glad you had the one video on your Instagram story of your swing because I could tell, I could see from how everything was unfolding that you had a day like I have a lot with my buddies where you're the only one taking photos and pictures the whole day, and you're sort of like Is anyone gonna like get like you take something to me like a me maybe?
Yeah,
I could
I know.
have for my rest of my life. That'd be cool.
Yeah, luckily
but
this
yeah,
was such a beautiful place and the sun was perfect and the weather was perfect that they all were taking videos. Like I have a bunch of stuff. But yeah, it was a day for the books, man. That was Fisher's Island. There's no denying that the ranking is true. Like in no way, shape, or form did I feel like it was too high ranked or it was too overhyped or anything. Every single aspect of it was amazing.
That's unreal. I'm so giddy about this summer, about being back in New York to play New York tri-state golf. Like there is just the New England golf is so fucking good. It's insane. Like playing Fishers, playing Sleepy, playing a bunch of the different Long Island courses.
Quaker Ridge.
Like the Quaker. I've never done Quaker. If we're lucky enough to sneak out
Frankie's
there
invited.
sometime,
Frankie's
and
We
invited.
snuck out there.
have to
We did.
buy another outfit.
We snuck out there. was a good
I
time.
can't believe you two were allowed on proper. What kind of disguise did you guys wear when you played out there?
I mean, I don't even remember, but I can't believe that we were presented with the opportunity to get out there.
Proud of
It's
you
really
We had to
an honor.
follow
proud
all
of
the
you guys.
mowers and the blowers because we had to blend in with the maintenance. So they were saying if we just drive our cart to the right of the people that were maintaining the golf course and they never saw who we were, then we were fine.
Dude, I'm just looking at top Seth Rayner courses. Fox Chapel, which I've played, which is like 10 minutes away from Oakmont in the Pittsburgh area, is same kind of way. A bunch of like template holes. Seth Rayner. Also, St. Louis Country Club, which is like the most prestigious place in St. Louis that doesn't get talked about enough because they have all the major championships at Belle Reve. I played it once like 20 years ago before I had any idea what any of this stuff was. I didn't know it was Seth Rayner. I didn't know it was like considered cool architecturally. Has back-to-back par threes at St. Louis Country Club.
Yeah,
Sure,
man.
see
The
very
We got
Dan-
back-to-back par threes at Quaker Ridge too, 9 and 10 Quaker Ridge par
You
threes,
sure
but it's
do.
on Seth Rayner.
That's how it is at Rockville too, right? 9 and 10
Really?
Yeah.
par
Yep.
threes.
Yep. 9 and 10. So Rockville has par 5 on 8,
Yep,
par 3 on 9, par 3 on 10,
par 5
par
on 11.
5 on 11, which is crazy.
It's a good
It's
stretch.
like 5-3-3-5, which I fucking love.
That's sick. That's sick. I love
Just
that.
a bunch of scoring there.
Dan, you got to go?
Yeah, I'm playing Sleepy Hollow today, and it's a nice day, which there's not much
Yeah,
better
buddy.
than that. So I'm off.
That's
Awesome.
a top
Boys.
10 for me. That's a top 10 course I've ever played, Sleepy Hollow. I fucking
Good
love
Those
that place.
templates, man, like that Redan,
Are
the
you-
reverse Redan.
Dan.
I love all that shit.
Rodan Rappaport, are you still trying to qualify for the man amateur that's going to be there?
Yeah, that's the plan. I got a lesson from Mark Blackburn. Guy's an absolute genius. Fixed my golf game in about 30 minutes. So we'll have some content for you guys on that front very shortly.
Love it.
Ooh, baby. So this could be considered a practice round in Sleepy Hollow today. Dan Rappaport's playing Sleepy Hollow today. I love that. Is there vodka in this? That's what a lot of people are asking. The answer is yes. There is real fruit. There is real vodka. That is what Truly is doing now with their Truly vodka seltzers, the bluish cans. I told the story about the St. Louis Barstool Classic last week. A bunch of my friends don't know a ton, don't pay attention, don't literally keep track of exactly what Truly's coming out with, when and where. They're typical beer drinkers. That's kind of the Midwest, what they do. My buddies said, multiple of them said, I don't know what's going on over there, but those ones in the blue can, those I mess with. Those I like a lot. Those speak to me. And they're talking about the new Truly vodka seltzers.
I was on the ferry home from Fisher's Island yesterday, and you sit down, beautiful little ferry. You're sitting in these nice, comfortable seats. I go up to the bar. I'm sorry. I sat down first, and the guys come back, and they throw down a couple of the coasters. And the coaster was a Truly coaster that said official sponsor of Barstool Sports and proud partner of Barstool Sports. And I was like, holy shit. So I went up there, and I grabbed myself a Truly. The new vodka seltzers, the real juice, real vodka. And I just enjoyed the shit out of that drink. I also got a salty dog. You guys ever have a salty dog?
No, what's that?
It was a foot-long hot dog.
Foot long.
Foot-long hot dog with spicy
Jesus.
mustard, bacon bits, and pickles on it. So
God
it was a
damn.
salty hot dog and just a little bit of spicy mustard. And I washed that thing down with a beautifully delicious and refreshing, truly. It was... And the waves are crashing to my
You
left.
told
and
your
right.
whole Fisher's
Oh.
Island story on this podcast. I don't know where this ad is going, but you told the whole story. Didn't mention the salty dog once.
I know. The salty
Sure.
dog was great.
And it truly.
They're lower in sugar. Every Truly vodka seltzer contains only 2 grams of sugar, fewer calories. All 12-ounce cans have under 110 calories. A refreshing go-to that is perfect for the spring, for the summer. So you can find Truly vodka seltzer near you at trulyhardseltzer.com. That's the Truly vodka seltzers. They're amazing. Find them at trulyhardseltzer.com. Okay. I got a couple other things to address. Let's see. I put on my notes.
I did
here.
purchase a hoodie yesterday at Fisher's Island, and I wasn't going to get it because it was quite expensive. But the guy behind the fucking counter was like, he looked at me and just goes, "Get it," like under his breath. He saw me looking at multiple colors, and I heard a faint, just "Get it." And I was like, "Serious?" He goes, "I'm telling." And I was like, I looked at him like, "You serious?" He's like, "Dude," he's like, "You're at Fisher's, like, get it." And I was like, "Fuck, man,
dude." That's how I felt at Carnoustie. I was looking at all these hoodies, and I was like, "Am I getting?" There's so many. I don't know what to pick. It's a little pricey, but then in my own head, I said, "Do it."
Yeah,
and I bought it.
It was.
And I'm glad that I did.
And I kind of like cursed him out. I walked up to the club. I walked up to the little counter. I'm like, "All right, you fucking piece of shit. Here, just scan this thing in." I was like under my breath. I'm like, "You talked me into this shit." He's like, "Aren't you happy though?" I put it on, and we were all like, "Oh," they were going crazy. I'm like, "Don't fucking talk to me about it."
Was it? How can we guess how expensive it was?
Oh,
yeah. You could. You could guess.
I'm gonna say. I mean, you said it like it's expensive, and like that's.
I know, but think about
expensive.
Hoodie, dude.
It's expensive hoodie,
dude.
That makes me think. I'll say $200.
Yeah, dude, it was like $205.
Oh wow!
Wow,
what a guess.
That's good.
It's expensive.
It's worth it. A good hoodie, a good any clothing item is worth it. Oh
yeah,
that's nice. Dude, golf course logos. Is there anything cooler than golf course logos?
And Fisher's Island's up there. It's just that like raggedy really ass thin island, and you're like, "Where's that?" And you're like, "It's Fisher's, man. It's fucking Fisher's." Yeah,
it's really good. Did you save your pencil? Hopefully, you saved your pencil.
You know, I did save my pencil, so maybe I can start this this whole thing now.
Dude,
I'm gonna have to go way back. I'm gonna start ordering them online. The places that we've gone. Can you just do that?
I know. I don't know if you can order them online. Maybe. Pencils? I don't know if they just have like
message the pro shop and just say send me one.
I will say I noticed that once I started talking about it on the podcast, I started getting a ton of messages, emails being like, "I work at so and so," or "I'm going to so and so. I'll just get a pencil and send it to you." So like that'd be great. Thank you.
Wow.
Have you made? Are you only putting pencils in at places you've played? That would make sense, right?
Yeah. The only exception is the guys at Oak Hill gave me a pencil while we were there. So my whole board, it's like 100 spots or something. I don't have 100. I probably have 60% of them. And so I'm starting a column on the top left that's just cool pencils of places that I haven't played until the whole board is full of places I have played. Then those will get removed.
Then you have to make your own top 100 with the pencils in order. That's a sick day.
I get the feeling we're going to play Oak Hill at some point.
But I think we will too. I want to go to Rochester.
Wow, that looks awesome, man. That's a great little memento thing to have.
Dude, isn't that really cool?
Bandit.
And then this it's so easy. Look at this puppy.
I'm extremely jealous of that.
To get the glass out, put new ones in.
Why are you shaking it? Stop shaking it, dude.
Slide it out.
Oh.
Like that.
Stop shaking it. Touch them.
I was worried that you were going to knock them all out.
And then
I guess I don't know how secure that is.
I would have them exposed almost. I don't even know if I would put the glass on it.
You think that's cooler?
I think it's cooler just exposed. You can kind of rub your finger on it.
Dude, how cool are fucking golf pencils, dude, with all the fucking
pencils
different
colors? They're way better than Ed Mangano's.
Aaron Hill's, Big Cedar, Prestwick. Prestwick is a good one. Did you take one from Prestwick?
Dude, I found it in my bag that I used that whole week. I was going through when I moved all my shit.
Why did I not do this? We've gone to the coolest places ever.
How about the Prestwick, dude? I jumped around in circles in my apartment yesterday when I found the Prestwick one. I was like, let's go. Because you realize these little pockets in your golf bag that you just stuff shit. I was going through.
How many times I've thrown out a pencil? I've probably thrown out so many cool pencils.
Frankie's playing MPCC. He's like, I'm not going to need that thing.
Literally.
Played it twice, I think.
Dude.
Just
leaving it in the cart, just flicking it,
dude.
Breaking it after a missed fucking putt.
No, Riggs, that's what you got going on there.
I'm using it to do like the dozen trivia show bonus rounds.
Can you guys hold on?
Musselburgh. Wow, man.
Where we use the old hickory ones. Yeah.
That's
dude, that one's right in the
mint.
middle. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah, these things are.
It's a great call by you, man.
I had no idea how cool and excited I would get over pencils, but yeah, this thing delivers. All right.
Wow.
All right. Oh, you know another one I found?
What?
Another one I fucking found, boys.
Let's see it.
Hold on, can you guys read?
Bailey Farms, Michigan.
Sick.
Yeah, dude, and
Really
it's got like his website on there, which I love.
I like that a
fucking
lot.
love it. Yeah, what's it say? TraverseCityGolf.com. So yeah, this thing is really cool. Really, really, really cool.
Do we have a video coming out? Is it tonight?
I think it's
would
tonight.
assume. So last
But it's
night.
our tonight, yeah.
We've got Brooke
Thursday night
Henderson.
or Wednesday night?
I think it's Wednesday night. I think it's tonight. So if you're listening to this,
So
it
it's
just
out.
came out last night on our YouTube page. Brooke Henderson hitting stingers against Trent Ryan, who was in hockey equipment. It was
One of
really
my favorite
good.
moments. One of my favorite
Brooke
moments
Henderson,
of anything we've ever done.
Obviously a Canadian. She's a huge star. Hockey, hockey family. Hockey is part of their culture for sure. And we were talking to her a little bit about hockey. She was a Ottawa Senators fan. Is that what she was?
Maybe. Dude, she's like a top 3 biggest athlete or 5 in Canada. They love her.
I know,
out
it's
there.
huge. It's huge. So we've got that video. She was awesome. And then we just started ripping as many low 4-iron, 3-iron stingers as we possibly could, as hard as I could.
Scary.
I was going literally as hard as I could at Trent from maybe 35, 40 yards away. So trying to go top shelf on a hockey net. It's one of our funny, just goofy videos. Obviously, it's not going to change the world in regards to the game of golf, but it's a fun video, good vibes. Trent Ryan's sweating his fucking ball sack off in this hockey gear equipment. And yeah, it's a great video. I had a lot of fun doing it.
It's really good. It was scary. Leading up to the video, we had to take a bunch of rubber bands and wrap them around the eye holes of the hockey helmet because we didn't want me to take a TP5X in the eye, which was good. I wish I did not end up happening, but it was fun. Once I got in net, I felt, oh yeah, there's the thumbnail right there.
It's a great
Once I got in
thumbnail.
net, after you get a couple shots ripped at you, you get more comfortable. And I was snagging them. I was taking them in the chest, Happy Gilmore style. So yeah, check that video out if you haven't.
Dude, us tying like what are the little plastic tie things that you use for like a bag of a loaf of bread that you
Zip
kind of like
ties?
put on zip ties. Us putting those zip ties across your fucking eyes, Trent, and trying to make sure you just didn't lose an eye socket while we were filming this video is probably the least comfortable I've felt, because it was like, if this fails, it's over. It's like the worst thing.
We also
that we've
got
ever
the
done.
equipment
We ruined-
from. Did we get it from a PGA Tour golfer, a Canadian PGA Tour golfer? Didn't we pick it up from his house or something?
Yes.
So it was the whole thing.
Canadian PGA Tour golfer, and I just can't think of his damn name.
Look at this
Gave
guy's
us that
fucking
gear.
face,
Brendan went to
dude.
his house and he wasn't even home. He had to like go in his garage and get it.
Yeah, his wife gave us the equipment. No, it's a fun video. Like Frankie said, it's not going to change the golf world, but if you want to have some laughs, and maybe we'll get a lot of Canadian views. Maybe Brooke Henderson will move the needle in Canada. She obviously does. Maybe our Canadian viewers will go through the roof with this video.
You think we're gonna pop in
I
Canada?
think we'll get a little.
That'd be
You think we'll get a
great.
bump from like the Chicklets boys or something? Something about Canada hockey goalie challenge. Maybe they'll talk about it.
It might.
Yeah,
Well,
we
I don't
usually
know.
do. We usually do. That'd be great.
It might show up in some Canadian algorithms, is my hope, and then we just become.
Okay.
Hopefully, any
Canada.
hockey podcast or whatever talks about this goalie challenge we did on the golf course. That would be fun.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, a little hockey.
Um,
Trent Ryan. They could judge Trent. Trent, you kind of caught fire out there. You like.
Well,
you got
once
in a
the
groove.
fear goes away enough, because when you step in there originally, the fear is heavy. But then once you take one, it's like in football. Like when you play football as a kid growing up, you're scared to get hit. You're really scared. But then you get hit a couple times and you're like, I'm not dead. I'm fine. I can still do this. And then you start really ripping in and hitting people. That's kind of how I felt, with the hockey stuff. I took a couple golf balls to the chest, and then I started snagging them out of thin air. And I think I got pretty good at it.
You did. Check out our YouTube tonight. Go check out Trent Ryan's on there. He's saving balls against Brooke Henderson. It's a great video. She was cool too. I loved hanging out with her. She was 6 or 7 years ago when I would tweet about the LPGA Tour a lot more. She was my girl. I loved Brooke Henderson. I still do love her. She's great. So good video. You guys see This is my last thing I got before we throw it to Megatron, not from the movie, from the football. You guys see Orca whales are attacking ships now?
I saw the one did. The one went after that ship, and the guys were just laughing about it. It was crazy.
Let me talk to you through this. Let me read a couple things to you guys that I wrote down here. This is from abcnews.go.com. Orca whales may be teaching others to attack boats following a spate of strikes on sailboats off the coast of Europe, some observers say. Sailors have reported a series of coordinated attacks by a group of orcas, including a May 22nd strike on a 26-foot vessel sailing off the coast of Cape Spartel near the Strait of Gibraltar. 6 orcas. Yeah, perfect. Quote, 6 orcas arrived, 2 adults, very big, 4 smaller ones, unquote. Sailor J.P. DeRunez wrote in Orca Attack Reports, a Facebook group dedicated to flagging orca activity. Both rudders destroyed and blocked, boat to be hauled off later this week. Then it says that attack followed a nighttime strike on May 4th when a Swiss yacht named Champagne, which was also sailing through the Strait of, what's it called, Trent?
Gibraltar.
Was attacked by 3 orcas. They struck its rudder, eventually sinking it, reported yacht, a German boating activity. And then it goes on to say at least 15 human orca incidents were recorded in 2020, the year in which the aggressive encounters are believed to have begun, according to a study published in the journal Marine Mammal Science. And then it goes on, there's all kinds of theories that this began in like 2020, because one orca whale, there was like a pod of whales, and they believe there's a chance, one of the theories, that one of the orca whales had like a traumatic bad experience with a boat, and that then wired the brains of all of these orcas in this pod to be anti-boat, and now they are coordinated to try to attack and sink, intentionally coordinated attacks to sink boats and sailboats.
Isn't it interesting that we as humans are such a dominant species that we find it outrageous that there are other species that can plan and coordinate an attack? Like, if that's a group,
talk about Chimp Empire,
we can, and it's in a similar vein to what we're talking about. But it is like we humans plan together and attack other humans. That happens pretty frequently. But when animals do it, we're like, what the fuck is going on? It seems like we got really lucky that we can think and attack others, but we're like, there's no way that these animals can do that. And then when they do it, it's front page news and we're talking about it on our podcast. But yeah, the Chimp Empire thing is really interesting.
It says White Gladys. This is the scientists say spikes in aggression may have been started by female orca whom scientists have named White Gladys. White Gladys is believed to have suffered a, quote, critical moment of agony, such as a boat collision which inflicted trauma on the orca, triggering a behavioral switch that other killer whales have learned to imitate. How fucking scary is that, dude? These things, I mean, it's Free Willy. Imagine a bunch of Free Willies coming after you. Are you fucking kidding me?
That's pretty wild. I had not seen that story.
Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, wild. And the definition of the word is Chimp Empire. I'm only 2 episodes in. I think there's 4. It's a mini series on Netflix. They're in the Ngogu forest.
It's a Ugandan jungle, yeah.
Ugandan jungle. They follow out. And the craziest part of this whole fucking thing is behind each camera is just like a human being filming this shit. It's nuts that they were out there. I'm going to have to watch behind the scenes on how these guys even got this footage. But they're filming these packs of chimpanzees, and they're like basically there's a central group, there's a northern group, and they're just human beings. And it just makes you really think about, like, how are we what we are after you look at them? Like, how did we get to where we are right now as humans? Because we are chimpanzees. We came from them, or they came from us. Whatever happened, we are the same. And I mean, 98% of our DNA is identical. So what happened that the 2% is allowing me to talk into a Shure Rode mic and on crazy interwebs where we're sending invisible fucking data points up to a satellite and back down to all of our pieces of technology? How did that 2% get to this point? You know what I mean? Because I'm watching this Chimp Empire, and they have language, communication, they have thoughts, feelings, they have desires, they have the ability to control and manipulate and adapt. I mean, they have legitimate human function.
Right. Their
Can't,
motivations
say,
are
Snapchat me. Like they just can't do that yet.
right. Their motivations are base but similar to ours, where it's like power, territory, manipulation, social relationships. Like it's all there. It's just they can't talk into a Shure microphone for whatever reason. And I don't know what that reason is. I don't know if anybody's ever figured that out. Why did our
Neither can Dan Rappaport.
DNA,
he can't do that either.
Why did our DNA and brains make the jump? Like I don't know, but it's very interesting watching that Chimp Empire. And there's
it makes me want to puke watching that.
Why?
Because
I haven't seen it yet.
The whole thing is just so, it makes your brain hurt of like, what actually is all this? Like,
I know.
Like what actually is a human being when we have these animals that you just said, like we just think of them as animals for some reason. We don't think of them as anything else but that. But then you watch this documentary and they're just they're people. We've given them names, but like
we've done that.
They know each other as if they have, you know what I mean? They know each other. There's relationships. They're grooming one guy. The other guy's the one to get groomed. It's the one leader has just like he shows off force so that he's the leader and everyone respects him. And then they know each other so much that when one from another chimpanzee just strolls into their territory, they go to war with him. And like they legit go on these war tours, and they're like they all look at each other like, you guys want to go fight the guys from the north? And they're like, yup. And then they go kill each other and then come back. It's like,
and they have roles.
What are we actually talking about?
There's these two chimpanzee brothers from I think the northern group that patrol the border. It's these two guys, these two chimpanzees who are like, we watch the border. That's what we do. And how do they decide that? And they're brothers. Why does that matter? I don't know. But they patrol the border and they wait and they see if other chimpanzees are coming through. It's very interesting. Very, very interesting.
But like I want to know what happened. Right? There's these theories. You said like the high chimpanzee theory.
There's the stoned ape theory, yeah.
They got a bunch of fucking mushrooms and their brains started to just grow and they saw things and they're like, wait, I can speak. And then, evolution comes from that. I don't know if that's true, but I do know that these motherfuckers are extremely similar to us. And that's a little bit scary. I mean, if one of them looked into the camera and was like, you're dead, like to the camera guy, I wouldn't even have blinked an eye. That's how close they are to doing that. Like, that's how close they are for this being Planet of the Apes. They are that close. It's something like if you gave them a pill, they're there. You know what I mean?
And they fucking hate monkeys. They kill monkeys and they eat them.
They eat them.
It's wild.
They eat them like fucking corn on the cob. They just fucking they suck their bones dry.
Oh.
It's crazy. The little babies look like old men. The little baby ones look like old men. They look so much like a regular human being old man. It's crazy. They're sucking the mama's teeth. It's just everything about it is nuts. And then you look like, what is DNA? Like how could we be 98% the same? Then you look like we're 60% the same as a banana. You ever see that? We're like, yeah, we're just like the same. We're like 80% same DNA as like a fruit fly. It's just like what actually happened here? How did we become us?
I don't know.
I need to know.
I don't think
become a scientist.
Knows.
I don't know, man. Does anyone know? Does anyone know?
No.
You guys are caught up on Succession?
No, but if you guys want to talk about it, I can leave.
I am.
It's a fantastic show. I can't believe the finale is this upcoming week. The series finale is coming up. I'm not going to spoil
Let's wait till everybody's caught up. It's an
all-time show. I'm sad to see it go.
You'd love to watch it end early, though. You don't want it to...
Yeah, I'm kind of ready for it to end.
Yeah.
I'm ready for it to end. It's an amazing show.
You like it because you want it to continue, but you also don't want to see it. They don't want to drag it out.
No.
I watched a clip on Jerry Seinfeld talking on Howard Stern about how he got offered like $100 million to do another season of Seinfeld, and he said no. And he's like, his reasoning was incredible.
Well, that was partly, yeah.
It was
that was probably the
saying.
Chappelle thing with Chappelle Show, where it's like, we're going to pay you $50 million to keep doing this. And he's like, I don't know if we can keep it. Like, I don't know if we can keep it at the same level, so I'm not going to do it.
It was a $110 million offer. And he's like, no, like there's just it changes everything. Like when you go out on top, everything else is then way more valuable because of how good it was, leaving people wanting more. There's like all this science to all of that. And for him to see that and because he becomes this hero because everything he's done has been perfect as opposed to maybe even having the slightest bit of failure.
He also earned it back ×8 with syndication. He's worth $1 billion.
Right.
He's worth a lot of money, that guy. Jerry Seinfeld. All right. We done here, boys?
I think so.
We're going to throw it to Calvin Johnson. We got Megatron on the show. Everybody enjoy the Charles Schwab. They're at Colonial. It's a pretty good field for something like this. There's a good 7-8 guys that are pretty damn big stars in the game. So enjoy that. Everybody have we got Memorial Day weekend this weekend. Is that right?
That kind of snuck up on me.
I know our work schedule just doesn't really nowadays. We're in and out. We travel a lot. It's not like we're in an office Monday through Friday. So this stuff sneaks up on us big time. So I didn't even really realize that. But yeah, Monday is Memorial Day weekend. I'm going to be in Pinehurst Sunday through Friday. My old man's coming down. He's getting back into golf. Shout out to Taylor. They hooked him up with a set of clubs. He went and got fitted. He hasn't really played golf in years. And he retired in the fall of last year. Now my old man's getting back into golf. So I think we're going to play. He's played the Cradle down at Pinehurst before a few times with us. But other than that, he hasn't played any golf in Pinehurst. So I think we're going to play a couple courses in Pinehurst for the first time with my old man. So
wonderful.
So yeah, should be a great week.
That's going to be great.
Be a weekend for everyone. Be safe. Be smart. We're going to throw it to Calvin Johnson. Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
Hit it hard.
You have to check out Golf Galaxy to find everything you need for your golf game and your dad's. Obviously, Father's Day is coming up. We talked about our merch. Golf Galaxy is a dream come true for golfers. They got fittings, grips, shafts, lessons, everything you can want. Plus, they've got TrackMan. They got Biotech for getting your game dialed in. Rent the simulator for working on your swing or just playing some of the top courses on the tour. Golf Galaxy has everything you want when it comes to clubs and gear, plus all the best brands and shirts, shoes, hats, gear, everything. Golf Galaxy offers a best price guarantee. So if you find a lower price somewhere else, they will match it. If you're running late for your tee time, but you need some balls, Golf Galaxy's free curbside pickup gets you your gear in 1 hour or less and out on the course even faster. No more ties for dad this Father's Day. Get him something he'll actually want and actually like personalized golf balls, custom wedges, or clubs that actually fit. Look, if you can't have fun at Golf Galaxy and you're listening to the show right now, then I don't know. You're just a lost human being, I would say.
Yeah,
my dad got fit when we shot those videos down there in Myrtle Beach. My dad got fit, and it was the first time he'd ever been fitted like that. And I was just back home for the Barstool Classic, and he's telling everybody about it. He's like, it's the best experience. It's so much fun. And he's been using that club, and he's been hitting the ball great. Like, if you got a Golf Galaxy near you, go there, get fitted, have a great experience, and then just play better golf.
Great technology, a lot of good options. Our stuff's in there. You can go pick up Barstool Golf stuff within Golf Galaxy. It's a great spot. It's a really good spot. They're attached to a Dick's usually. Dick's Sporting Goods right next door, which is just like everyone has a Dick's in their town. And it's just like the go-to. You run there if you need anything sport equipment wise. And the fact that those two are partnered up and they're like next to each other now is incredible.
Head over to your closest Golf Galaxy or go online and shop for the best clubs, hats, shirts, and shoes from all of golf's top brands. That is at Golf Galaxy. Head over to the closest Golf Galaxy next to you. All right, folks, we're joined by an iconic guest, I would say, probably someone that people would never think we would have on our golf podcast. We got Calvin Johnson, Megatron. He's got the primitive shirt on. I want to get into that a little bit, but we just started talking. You're obviously played for the Lions for 9 years or so. You live in Michigan? You're a Michigan guy through and through now?
Yeah, all my adult life I've been in Michigan.
So we were saying pre-show, Michigan golf. We've done like kind of up near Traverse City and all that. How's like Detroit area golf?
Detroit area golf is great. You know, Detroit has some great golf courses. So anything like within an hour of Detroit, there's a lot around the golf course. I know you've heard of Oakland Hills, Detroit Golf Club, obviously where they hold Rocket Mortgage. Those are obviously just a couple of the top two, but there's so many more here.
When did you start playing golf? Was it something you picked up while you were playing or after you got done playing? When did you start?
Man, my granddad put a golf club in my hand at a young age, but I really didn't start playing really seriously. You know, got all clubs towards the end of my career. even then, I wasn't really active. I had clubs, but they weren't really fitted right. They're just getting some extra long gloves because, I got long arms. So I was just constantly digging up dirt. Like, man, this ain't it, and I took a pause and I got back out there. Somebody, I got a pro, I got some lessons, I got fitted right. And the game became much, much more fun. This is probably like, a handful of years ago, I got my clubs fitted, got some lessons like 3 years ago, and it really changed everything that I'm done throughout, I guess my short golf career. With everything I thought I was doing right was wrong, when I finally got those lessons, and I had to, forget all those bad habits that I had created.
I mean, obviously one of the best wide receivers of all time. Where do you rank your game right now for golf? Like, are you as competitive on the golf course as you were on the football field? Are you happy with where you're at right now, even starting later in life?
I'm definitely competitive out there. I might not be as good yet as I'm going to get, but I'm definitely competitive out there. My game is improving every year. Obviously, getting lessons over the last couple of years has that tremendously impacted that. And then I have myself the Bushnell Launch Pro. I got a little setup in the garage, so I can swing in the winter. That's like half the year. So, but yeah, my golf, I'm about 12 or 13 right now.
Okay.
I'm trying to break out the 80s and get down into the 70s. It's gonna take a little time, but I'm gonna get there.
I mean, one of your biggest incentives should be, and he's a friend of the program, but Larry Fitzgerald, obviously you guys go at it when it comes to ranking best wide receivers of all time in the NFL. And now he's a very big golfer, friend of the program. He's come on our show and then he beat our ass in pickleball. That guy's out of control when it comes to competition.
Especially Frankie.
I mean, at this point, like, that should be your incentive to be like the best, not only the best wide receiver, but the best golfer out of the two of you.
100%, man. Larry's really good. I hear it. I have had fortune of playing with him. I know
he's not really good. I would really good.
Hey, Larry, I see him out there in all the pro-ams. Like I said, I want to be out there, be able to play and play in the 70s. That's my goal. If I'm playing in the 70s consistently, I can't tell me nothing there.
Are you on that pro-am circuit at all? Have you dipped into that world?
I'm not on a circuit, but I do. I go to the one here in Detroit. I've been playing it the last couple of years.
We got to get to that Detroit tournament. We did the Minnesota 3M last year, and it's great. That part of the country, kind of those northern states where, like, you're talking about, golf's only really doable for half of the year or something. When an event comes there and golf's going, golf season's going, I feel like that part of the country, people are really into it.
Detroit ain't what it used to be like when I moved here 15 years, 16 years ago. Detroit, has a nice restaurant scene. Downtown's nice, obviously, with the riverfront. But then we have all these events coming. We got a draft coming next year, but the Rocket Mortgage has been at DGC for the last, this is year 5, I think. So I think that, I know that, Detroit is hungry. There's a lot of golf nuts up there. Obviously, we only get half a year to play. But if people turn out for the Rocket, man, you gotta come check it out.
I like Detroit. I feel like Detroit's people sleep on Detroit a little bit. Like you're saying, it's kind of I don't know, coming back or what, but it's not like we've been there enough to know if it needs to come back or not. But Detroit's got a lot of character. It's a working town.
Right.
It's an auto town. I feel like people sleep on Detroit a little too much.
People sleep on Detroit. Like you say, it's a blue collar town. People, take their, lunch to work every day, and it resonates, with my upbringing, so that's why I'm still here. The people obviously have a lot of connections here. And like we're talking about, man, golf scene here is phenomenal, especially when the weather turns, because the summers here are so great.
Any thought of heading south to a Florida or an Arizona you could play 12 months a year, Calvin?
From Georgia, you can play almost all year up down there. Maybe a couple months where you can't play in Georgia. But, I'm from Georgia, but honestly, business keeps me here. I have my family here. I have my wife here. But we still frequent Georgia. But, if I get all people to move up here from Georgia, I would. I've turned 4-season guy. Every time I'm on a snowboard, I find something to do in the fall. I like to go shoot small game, but there's always something to do up here, Mitch.
I was going to tell you, there's just places in the country that just have better weather in the winter. The big seasons thing, I'm from St. Louis. I lived in the Northeast for 15 years or so, and that's what everybody says. But there's just, I hate to tell you, there's just places in the country where it's just perfect weather. It's unbelievable.
And then you always, in the winter time especially, like, oh, shoot, what am I doing in Michigan?
I know.
My goodness.
I go back and forth on the because I grew up in Iowa, so I lived out in New York for a few years now. Like there is a part of me that loves every season, but then every time I'm in a warm weather place where it's warm all the time, like San Diego or Scottsdale or any of those places, I'm like, I think I might just be like indoctrinated into the Midwest way of thinking, where it's like, no, they want to keep people here, so you got to love the seasons. I don't know if that's true or not.
The first part for sure. When you're talking about how it feels to a warm climate, 100%. I mean, it makes you second think your choices in life. But really, honestly, business is what really keeps me up here. If it wasn't for business, I probably would have moved back down south already.
Yeah, I laugh. People are like, "Oh, don't you? I love like fall foliage." And I'm like, "Yeah, I just look at fucking pictures on the internet of fall. It's great. They look so beautiful. It's really, it's like 62 and sunny, and we're playing golf. But yeah, the seasons are. I miss that a lot. Talk about. So you mentioned business a lot. Obviously, it's a great trajectory that I think a lot of guys are getting more into, which is you played in the NFL for 9-10 years, unbelievable career. Then you kind of transition into business. You got the shirt on, Primitive. I personally trying to drink less. I'm incredibly hungover this morning. I'm trying to get into other stuff, new stuff. Primitive, it's this cannabis, a good mix, healthy, good for you. Talk to us about Primitive and kind of what you guys are doing over there.
Yeah, man. We started Primitive. We dropped the brand in early 21. We've been in the industry for about 5 years now. We started at cultivation, got a processing license, and then opened up our retail in 22. But the main goal, the main vision was ultimately, obviously, to destigmatize the plant by highlighting the healing powers of it. We want to innovate in the industry and bring forward new products, to really break on new customers and broaden that understanding and education of the cannabis plant. So like I say, we call ourselves Primitive because for thousands of years, people have been using cannabis, and not just cannabis, plant medicines in general. But obviously our focus is cannabis, so by definition, it is primitive. But in the part of innovation, we've really tried to focus on that. We're part of the International Phytomedicines Institute with Harvard and what they're doing over there at Dana-Farber. And it's a consortium of institutes from Johns Hopkins, University of Penn, and there might be a couple of others that I'm forgetting. But really just to try to eradicate the disparities when it comes to healthcare involving plant medicine, though. So it's very exciting to be a part of the cutting edge technology when it comes to what we're able to do when it comes to using plants and how they better our body. And I'm a firm believer that God put everything on this earth that we need to survive. And we can kind of get away from those synthetic means that create all kind of toxins in our body, and use the things that He put on this earth and use the technology that we have to advance those things. I think that we'll be in a better place when it comes to healthcare. So. But we're slowly but surely away at that with cannabis. We're Schedule 1, so there's always so much research you could do. But, Joe Biden, he had signed a bill at the end of last year, a cannabis bill, which allows for more research, which is good. So, we're slowly but surely chipping away there. But, yes, Primitive is, we're very passionate about cannabis because, truly our own experiences.
Yeah, you're in a very interesting position because you played such a violent sport pretty much your whole life. And then you see countless stories of guys who get out of the league, and whether they have surgeries or whatever comes around, opioids become kind of the go-to when you're trying to feel better, you're trying to recover. And then some people become dependent on it, and that can go sideways in a lot of ways. With your company, this cannabis company, and you can probably speak firsthand, like, how has it helped you post a very, very violent football career?
Yeah, I got into the cannabis industry post-football, actually, after I did and this is a true story, I did the Dancing with the Stars show, and I was about to quit the show probably about 3 weeks in, about a month in or something like that, because my swelling started coming back in my ankles and my knees, but mainly my ankles, and I couldn't move because the dancing is crazy, it's just, it's almost like doing like a footwork drill for like however long the dance is. So, ankles were swollen up, I just didn't have the flexibility, I couldn't move and get to the places I needed to do, or the positions that I need to be in. And I was about to quit the show, but fortunately, one of my homies from Georgia Tech, he's out there, we'll hang out, and I told him what was going on. And he brought me a topical that was in, remember, it was a green glass jar with a gold cap. And he's like, man, try this out. And I tried it out over the next couple of days, my swelling started to subside. And I'm like, okay, there's something to this. And, I always use cannabis, not always, but I use it while I was playing ball because I thought it was great to help me sleep, help, ease whatever, anxiety, it just, so I think that's a big part of your recovery and being able to progress and move forward. And, from that aspect, I knew it was good, but being able to use it in a different application was like, okay, light bulb moment. If I'd have a chance, I'd love to get down to the finance of this and be able to push this forward. And with Tiny, the cannabis industry in Michigan opened up, and we're in position to hop in.
We're out on we'll be out on big medicine. We'll be anti big medicine. If we'll just transition into we're pharmaceuticals out. That's all bullshit. We're not in on that. We'll be in on the natural stuff.
Like I say, put all that technology to what God put on this earth.
Look, man, I think one of my favorite things we've ever partnered with, experienced, had put before us due to the nature of our job is BioLite. BioLite is IV in a bottle. As folks who occasionally like to have a drink or two, we're on the move a lot. We're outside all the time. We're playing golf. We're filming golf. We're watching other people play golf at a major championship or at a Barstool Classic. You get very dehydrated. The sun drains you. Traveling drains you. Alcohol drains you. BioLite. It is 6.5 times the electrolytes that are in a normal sports drink are in one BioLite. They've got delicious flavors. You can get their variety pack now. It's good for you, so they don't have a lot of this bad stuff in there that you know of from sports drinks that we've all heard about. It's good for you. It rehydrates you, and it's delicious, and it's BioLite.
Yeah, it saved my ass yesterday at Fisher's. On my way there, 4:45 wake up, on my way to Brock's. He's getting me in his car, and now we're driving all the way up to Connecticut. I felt super dehydrated, had a BioLite with me in the car, electrolytes out of control, and I felt so rejuvenated. I'm not a coffee guy, so I needed something for a pick-me-up. I needed something to just get me going. Being hydrated is one of those things, like feeling it makes your body feel like it's actually running. And it's the oil of your body. If you think about it, you need water. Your body craves
it's the
water.
Oil of your, is that? Yeah. All right.
Like an engine.
Okay.
I can get on board with that.
The gas, maybe? Is it the gas?
You need
I
hydration,
feel like the blood
baby.
is the oil.
Okay.
But I'm with you on. I'm with you
need
halfway
BioLite.
there.
BioLite's
I think it's the
amazing.
gas. I think it's the gas. You're
for
constantly
you.
refilling.
Yep.
It's the gas.
I like it.
BioLite launched its variety pack. Features 4 of its physician-formulated flavors: citrus, tropical, berry, and melon. So there's a favorite flavor for everyone to enjoy. If you're dehydrated, just drink BioLite, the IV in a bottle, and your body will thank us and you later. You can even get ahead of it. Drink one of these while you're having a couple of drinks or before you go to bed. For a limited time, you can get 10% off your first BioLite variety pack order at drinkbiolite.com using the promo code Variety. That's VARIETY. That's 10% off, limited time only. Go to drinkbiolite.com. Use the code Variety.
And we talk about your career a little bit, and obviously there was no bigger name at some points during your career than Calvin Johnson. Megatron was like a cultural thing. Kids playing fantasy football, like you were the number one guy to get. Everything about you just screamed like the best. For you, like going through that stretch of incredible football, I feel like being a wide receiver, and I've always wondered this, like the better you get, the more eyes are on you on the defense. Like, what did you ever struggle with the fact that like as you got better, it actually got way, way harder? I feel like no other sport it's like that, where like they're actually putting 2 guys on you, 3 guys on you, and then you have to keep progressing as the defense keeps getting harder. Did you feel like at first it was like, man, this is almost like impossible? Like how'd you break through that?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the times, the only way to break through that was to stretch the field, get down the field or get across the field. But I mean, after my rookie year, in my second year, started to see a little double team. But after my second year, it was like double team all the time. It was rare that I got, one-on-ones. And there's certain situations where I would, but I wouldn't dare. They wouldn't dare just leave me the whole game where I went one-on-one or just numbers. Yeah, it was just it was the big part of that was obviously the coordinator, coming up with a good game plan and calling those plays at the right time. But like I said, there's always a safety over top or a linebacker inside, creating almost like a triangle defense look, to try to stop anything. So you can't do anything with localized in that area. So you have to stretch the field.
Dude, how badass is it to be able to say, like, yeah, they wouldn't dare put me one-on-one. Like, they wouldn't.
Oh,
They wouldn't put another single human up against me as a human. Like that would be psychotic of them to do.
But think about like in golf, like would they just like make like imagine they just made the hole smaller for Tiger Woods because he was just like way better than everyone, and he just had to like power through that.
I
right?
mean,
like,
they changed golf courses a little bit.
They do, right.
They
When he
literally
started
did.
dominating.
Like, we
Yeah,
gotta change these courses.
That's
This guy's
true. They
fucking
did do
unbelievable.
they did do that. Augusta did that. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
that's
pretty
actually a
good.
good point. That is a great point.
Yeah, like Frankie said, it was cultural, man. Like Megatron, did you feel like going into different cities, away games? Did you feel coming in like I'm the guy and I'm a problem and everybody knows I'm a problem?
Just how everything's structured in the NFL, like how the practice week goes and who the teams key on, just knowing how that goes. I knew every week, somebody had to be rocking the 81 jersey. And if they weren't doing it, then they were just in denial. They were in denial. I think the Cowboys were in denial. There's teams that they ended up paying for it.
Was there a specific guy on the other side that you didn't like facing, or did you feel like you had the edge on everyone?
No, never that, man. There's always, the guys on the other side cornerbacks are sort of the most athletic. Receivers, obviously, but cornerbacks being able to have to react to what we're doing, constantly doing those.
Crazy.
There's some of the most athletic, players on the field, So, but I hated going against. But I had to go against Pat P like 6 years straight almost, and I was just like, what's going on? They just want to see the matchups. Like, he's not. Technically he's in the NFC, but he's not the NFC North. Play NFC West or something like that. This isn't making any sense. And then every year we're going out to Arizona every year. And I was like, what the hell's going on? But it was one of those weeks, or whenever it fell in the season, it's one of those days like, all right, leading up to this game, I just gotta make sure I'm as healthy as possible leading up to this game. Because it's like going against Peanut twice a year. If he'll tell me, it's just, it's gonna be a heavyweight battle. You gotta bring it every place. But those guys, most of the time, the thing is for me is just to, get in their face, holds my will early in the game. And most guys can't take that and can't compete with that for 60, 70 plays. Peanut, there's some guys that can, those kind of guys, those stars like that on the other side. And Pat P, obviously Darrell, I ain't played Darrell a whole bunch of times, but he was a phenomenal player. And congratulations to him. Obviously, he's going into the All this year. I play against guys like Charles Woodson, but he is different from the Peanuts and the Pat P. Kind of like Pat P was like an hybrid kind of, but Chuck's always he's a smart player. He's trying to jump stuff. He ain't trying to get in the physical battle rule game. He's trying to jump plays, trying to get interceptions and take it to the out. So but just being able to playing against those kind of guys, you got to have a mindset. It's different from playing against Chuck versus playing against a Peanut or Pat P, who are going to be super physical.
Do you still watch NFL football? You keep tabs on it, or are you a casual fan, or how close to it are you?
Yeah, I'm a fan, man. I'll watch as much as I can. I'm thinking about, YouTube draft was it a Sunday?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm thinking about sign up for that while still keep fishing.
That's such a good thought.
Kind
of thinking about signing up.
I'm fan up, man. I want to be able to check out, there's guys that you meet over time, just being around the league, should become fans of just because they're good guys. And, I love watching my Lions, but I want to see more games too.
You're a Lions fan? You're like a fan of the team still?
Yeah, it's hard not to be, because like I said, I know some of these guys, even though now a lot of the guys that I played with for the most really aren't there anymore. But I still have made, I see you guys around town, I meet them, a bunch of, good guys. And then obviously the coaching staff, all former players on the coaching staff, I know there and I played with there. It's hard not to love what they're trying to accomplish over here.
Did it feel good to finally have a Thanksgiving after you retired from the Lions? It's like every single year they're playing on Thanksgiving. It's become one of our traditions to watch it. But I always think like, man, these guys are just in the game every single year. They're never able to chill on like an actual holiday. It's crazy.
Yeah, I do. We do look. We look forward to after the game. Everybody trying to get showered up real fast to go kick with the family, get some good food, and watch the late game, or maybe even the second part of the second game. But it was such tradition. We look forward to it. We look forward to being at 12 o'clock game and getting Thanksgiving off to a good start.
Yeah.
What's the part of your golf game that you're most confident in right now, and then what's the part that you're least confident in right now?
It's switching over right now. I think I know why, because I'm paying a little bit more attention to my woods and driver. I'm getting off the tee a lot better, which is allowing me to lower my handicap. Just not losing balls and keeping everything in front of me. My dispersion is narrow, which is great. But so with that, I feel like I've lost a little bit of touch, and I feel like I'm good around 100. But when I get like 50 and I feel like I've lost a little touch for the year. I'm in between right there, so I just got to get.
Yep.
I got to get out and hammer that out. I was talking to I talked to Tiger one time. It was like 2 years ago at Super.
Tiger Woods or
Yeah, Tiger Woods at Super Bowl.
Okay,
gotcha.
Yeah, Tiger Woods. About how they practice, man. It's like, we hit in the morning, we hit a couple hundred balls, we go play, and then we go back and hit again. I'm just like, wow, that's lovely. I wish I could hit that much. I can't be like just like that. So, you really see what it takes to be that great.
You also realize that 50-yard shot is all feel at some point, and it's like you don't learn that until you just hit a bunch of balls from around 50, 60, 70 yards. For a long time, for me specifically, it was like the only time I got to practice that 65-yard shot over bunker was when I had a 65-yard shot over a bunker in a real round of golf. Like I never had the means to go out to like a range that had a short game area, or like I was playing public golf a lot. And then you realize like if you have access to practice facilities, the next time you're out on the golf course, you're like, oh, I know how to do this. I just bring it back to here. It's way easier when you realize it's like, it's a feel thing. You got to actually do it as opposed to just like thinking about it.
Man, you say that now. I was like, there's no place around here with a short game practice facility like that besides like Detroit Golf Club. And I'm trying, I've been holding off trying to, I've been thinking about joining for like the last several years.
Get in there.
And it's like, but like you say, it's the only place where I can actually work that part of the game. So like unless I'm just gonna practice it, take a couple shots when I'm out there, of course.
Right.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time. I'm the worst bunker player on planet Earth. I get stuck in a bunker, my soul dies in there, and I'm just in there forever.
I know you posted a good video the other day. You had a crispy bunker shot.
Yeah. So then the other day I went to this range near us, and I just threw down I hit like 50 shots out of the bunker. And that's more bunker shots than I'm going to play on a course in like a given year. Yep. Well, maybe not me, but and then I was in a bunker. We were just down in Myrtle Beach, and I hit a great one out of there. And it's just you remember what it takes. Pretty much what we're saying is just practice. Everybody, it just takes practice, all of it.
Like you say, it's just muscle memory, building it in, and the only way to do it is you throw them balls out there, like you say, and just do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
We got to get Megatron over the hill a little bit here, like over the hump, because it's like you're thinking about signing up for the NFL package, like you're thinking about joining Detroit Golf Club. Like, let's pull the trigger, Megatron.
So locked in on primitive, he's got to be that locked in on his golf game.
And that's exactly what it is, man. Like before we really dove in, I was playing 3 times a week. I got out of the hundreds, I got down into like the low 90s. And then over the last couple of years, I was able to get down into consistently just playing in the 80s. But, I got to get out. I got to get out more than 1 time a week, in order to get that thing down there.
We talked a little bit about Larry earlier. Have you gotten into the pickleball craze, or have you not gotten into that?
I haven't, man. I play golf. I'm trying to get some golf in, or I'm trying to find a mountain snowboard. That's really what it is.
Yeah, pickleball. Some people are really into it. Some people don't want to.
You'd be a problem on the pickleball course.
Yeah, I love tennis. I love table tennis as well. So I probably would.
It's just that lateral movement. Like Larry's just, and you guys are so long, and your wingspan. It's just impossible to beat. Like when you're out there and you have that kind of side to side movement, it's impossible to beat in singles. He knows it.
How big is the court?
It's literally in between a tennis court and a ping pong table. It's like it's within that box.
Gotcha.
You can see him on tennis courts. It's within the box right there.
Okay.
It's not too far. I don't know.
You would cover. I mean, if with your arms out, you would cover like 98% of the court.
You're like playing against a fucking wall that can just hit it back.
Get into it. Go play 1 time. You'll be hooked. Crazy.
The way it's taken off, I probably would. Everybody's talking about it.
Larry Fitz, man. We love that guy. Yeah, he's a huge golf nut. Do you guys have when you see him? Do you guys have an unspoken we're kind of 2 guys that are just in a club that pretty much nobody else is in?
100%, man. I got to be around Larry a bunch, just being in the league, and nothing but a class act. Nothing but respect, and I actually saw he came out the year before him. So I was looking up to him a little bit, just watching him as he progressed in his journey along the way. So nothing but kudos.
Yeah. there's we through this job we meet a lot of different people. We talk about a lot of different people. Larry Fitzgerald is one of the more just overall impressive human beings I've ever met. He's great. He's so nice. He's got a big smile. He's incredibly athletic. He's also just super competitive. Do you have that in you too? Like he's playing pickleball against Frankie, and first couple points he's like pretty casual, and then midway through that pickleball match against again Frankie Borelli on the screen there, he's chirping Frankie.
He called me pathetic. And then at one point he's like, "You're a born loser. You were born to lose this match."
It was awesome.
And he goes, "We are not the same." And then served the ball at me, and I of course just like didn't even return it. I just like it was just an ace right on me. So yeah, but I mean, I could see that. I could see that. And you can't be Megatron without having that in you. You can't be Calvin Johnson without being like a natural born killer on the field. That's just no chance.
We want to compete. We want it to be great. At everything that we do, like Dad always tell me, put your best foot forward, whatever you do. So if I'm doing something, I'm gonna try to be great at it.
He's gonna win it. Yeah.
Did you chirp guys? You talk shit to guys out there? Like when somebody lines up against you, were you just like, dude, I'm gonna dominate. You are pathetic. I'm gonna dominate you.
It was so funny because it was like a mind game, and it's funny because I talked to Peter recently about this. I saw him at the draft in Kansas City, and we were just talking because I was on this podcast. And we're talking about this exact thing, It's like, man, you never talk shit. Like, and like for us, like we're just like, what's going on in this dude's head? Like, he, for me, straight up, I'm just like, man, I done been in too many games where we done ran 80 plus plays. I'm not here. I got to conserve all this energy because if I don't, I'm gonna be dead. Despite I'm getting to play 80. So my reasoning is I'm not trying to waste any energy. Yeah, I don't really celebrate. I might dump the ball off the goal post and whatnot. I might slap whoever score on the head and whatnot. But I'm over here just trying to get my win because I know it's a long game. I'm trying to keep my composure throughout the whole game.
In more ways than not, that's way more intimidating than being like the boisterous, like, I'm in your face, I'm the best out here. When you just do it as if you were supposed to do it, that's like, we can't stop this guy. He's just going down the checklist today, and we're just in his way.
That's exactly.
They've just never heard Megatron's voice. He just comes in, catches footballs, and they're like, "Ooh, that guy's unbelievable." Well, look, man, we appreciate the time. Great stuff with Primitive. I'm gonna dabble. I gotta test this stuff out. Obviously, you rave about it. Megatron, you're an icon, like Frankie said. It's very very humble for us to be even chatting with you because we watched you for years. Football's king in this country, and anytime the Lions are playing those big games, Thanksgiving, it was like if you just throw the ball anywhere near Megatron, he's just going to catch the football and the game's over. So it's really cool to talk to you. It's really cool to hear kind of what you've been up to and getting into business, getting into golf. And we got to play some golf sometime. We love Michigan golf. So maybe we come up there and play a little golf.
Say less. Please contact my folks, man. Get in touch with me however you got to. I'll love you. I'll come up here to play. Let me know. I'll love to get out.
Awesome.
Yeah, let's do it. We appreciate the time. Good luck with everything going forward. And yeah, let's do this again soon.
Appreciate it, man. Y'all have a great one. I can talk cannabis and golf anytime.
Awesome.
Love
Thanks, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Peace.